Hey guys, good morning. How are you? It's bright and early for me again, doing another one of these little behind the scenes videos. Today we're going to focus on something we call hashtag JUSI, pronounced juicy. Just ship it, getting to market. So we're going to talk about how I connect our big vision to what we're going to do next stepwise. Anyway, here's the journaling process so far this morning. Reflected on the big picture as always, and then just a ton of notes on okay, what needs to get done. I don't call my to-dos to-dos, I call them fun stuff, and then coming up with ideas for these little videos, and then thinking about my top 10 books of all time and the ones that I want to cover early next year, etc., as part of our Philosopher's Notes live series, which is a very difficult thing to do. I can identify some really good books. None of these are, they're kind of all tied for a very top slot, but Love 2.0, Grit, Deep Work, Daily Stoic Mastery, Peak, The One Thing, Rethinking Positive Thinking, No Sweat are certainly at the top of the list. I can't wait to unpack them. I read the note on Grit this morning. Just amazing. I reread the note. And then one of my fun projects for the year is to become a world-class athlete to qualify for the World Championships for the Spartan race in 2018. So I've got like my full training plan on that. My number one asset is consistency. I'm actually going to create a whole training plan. One of the things we're going to do next year is get 1,000 people to do a Spartan race with us at the end of the year. So I've got something, Spartan Training 101, or we'll call it Obstacle Immunity 101 or something like that. How to actually train and get in the best shape of your life and use a Spartan race as a, kind of a physical representation of the metaphorical, idea of being immune to obstacles, where obstacles literally make you stronger and you just approach your life like that. Anyway, so reflecting on all that, we're reviewing that, and then now we're ready for juicy. Just ship it. So we like to have a big vision in our business, obviously, right? So we've got those mountain peaks from my daily journal, right? Huge goals. But then what we always do is we bring it back to right this moment. What's the next most important thing that needs to get done? And then we just need to ship it, right? We can't think about how to make it perfect. We need to get to market and then let that experience with a V1 that we know isn't perfect inform how we make it better. Plus 1%, incremental optimization that we talk about all the time. In Business 101, Creativity 101, Conquering Perfectionism 101, we talk about this. You just got to be willing to be imperfect in the process of optimizing and getting better. So for us, I'm looking at our schedule. We've got a lot of stuff going on, and my real job is to see the big picture, then to simplify it again and again and again. But super fired up to announce next week our schedule for 2017, at least the early part. I'm going to teach my first class at our new offline Oasis in Ojai on January 7th in 3 weeks, called Hero Training 101. If you're in LA or Santa Barbara or Ojai, come join us. It's going to be awesome. We'll be sending out info. If you are not local, no problem. We're going to live stream it 10 a.m. January 7th, Hero Training 101, which is going to kick off an awesome series, all part of the $10 a month membership, etc. And then on January 2nd, we're going to launch our daily optimizing, which I mentioned in the last video. Now I'm officially all in on covering 250 of my favorite books ever, one a day. I don't expect many people to keep up with us on that, but if you're feeling it, do it. Live streamed, kind of like the PNTVs, right? But live, 30 minutes with some Q&A, and then immediately after at around 10:30, we'll do office hours every day. Got questions? Awesome. Let's connect and we'll explore those. Again, we'll archive them, we'll tag them so we can, sort questions by nutrition or positive psychology or goal setting or whatever. Then we're also going to launch, January 1st, we're going to launch a Kickstart campaign, almost certainly, announcing our first offline event ever that I've done at our new Optimize Oasis in Ojai. So I can't wait for that. Be sharing more soon. But anyway, all of this is to say that it's time for us to just ship it, juicy, and get really clear on our calendar and take that next baby step such that we can do it. So my question for you is, what in your life have you been holding on to, trying to get perfect? Then you'll launch, you'll go for it. And how do you break it down such that you have that just ship it mentality, knowing that it's not going to be perfect day one, but you're going to be in the game, and then you're going to get better and better and better. Find that edge where you feel good, you're leaning in, etc. But don't try to make it 110% perfect before you get in. Focus on plus 1% and just getting in the game. Another couple quick reflections here while we're on this theme. I talk a fair amount about the barbell strategy. So here I have this little barbell drawn, right? Anti-fragile, Nassim Taleb introduced me to this idea, which I use for everything now. He says that an anti-fragile strategy where you get stronger when you're challenged, right? There's fragile, which is you break at challenges. There's resilient, which is you can sustain, a level of strength and mojo during challenges. Then there's anti-fragile, where you literally get stronger when you're challenged. He says if you want to have that anti-fragility, you need to have a barbell strategy where you're simultaneously super, super aggressive, right? You have a huge vision of what you want to do, and you're super, super conservative. You're taking the next baby step, juicy style, right? Hashtag just ship it. And you're for us in this, the 5 acres and 28,000 square feet, 1,000-person sanctuary campus we're buying. My whole thing is day zero, profitable. How do we have a huge vision of what we want to do with this space. That's our aggressive vision. Then we have a conservative vision of how on day zero, before we even take official ownership of the place, how do we make the place make money for us? Well, that's where we come up here to the Kickstart campaign of let's run our first event. And we will launch that in a couple of weeks. And before we even take official ownership, we will have generated enough revenue to pay the operating expenses for the year, to do the upgrades we need to do, etc. So that's a super conservative complement to our super aggressive approach. We always want to have this. And again, there's my alarm telling me sunrise hike is beckoning for me. We want to combine these two things, conservative, aggressive, and one way to do that is to just ship it. And then, of course, I use this image of a triangle. Maslow's hierarchy is what I think of when I draw this triangle, right? And I draw circles around the base, and then I draw circles around the peak. You cannot get to the peak unless you have a really strong foundation, which is why I always focus on the fundamentals, the eating, the moving, the sleeping, the focusing of the mind, and for a business, the profitability, etc. So again, these are all connected. Super conservative here, super aggressive here. Just take the next baby step, plus 1% incrementally optimize. There you go. Somewhat rambling, but hopefully you got something out of that. And excited to share the calendar, both the weekly stuff and the daily stuff. We'll start with Hero Training 101 on the 7th from a weekly perspective. And then, I'm figuring out what we're going to do. Greatest year ever. I'm going to revisit these themes. Masterpiece days from a hero perspective. That is another alarm, which is telling me to go bang out some more burpees. Whole nother conversation on that one we'll have fun with. And then obstacle immunity, blah, 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 blah. So there you go. More soon. Have an awesome day. See you.